Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Welcome, one and all. I thank you so much for joining Samantha and I today, and we are so excited to be here with you today. Hi, Samantha.
Hello, Erica. So happy to see your beautiful face again today.
Yours too, as always, and super happy to be here with all of you because Samantha thought of something for us to talk about today. Today was one of the first days we've had a hard time thinking about what we were going to talk about. So, Samantha had a really good idea. So, tell us what we're going to talk about today.
Sure. Thanks, Erica. So, something that's been coming up in my world, and when something comes up in my world, it comes up in my body, it comes up in my mind, and then everyone around me, my family, my friends, and my clients all are going through the same thing. So, I thought,
Mhm.
okay, this is something worth talking about. And it's surrounding the topic of rejection. Now, I think almost every human being has experienced some form of rejection. And if you're listening, you probably know that it sucks. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, all sorts of feelings and stories come up of worthlessness or not good enough or ugly or to this, not enough that, abandonment, all of these feelings of just ick, right? It's an icky feeling rejected. And so, a really empowering life hack or mindset hack that I like to bring forward is seeing that rejection is actually just redirection. And even more than that, it's actually the universe taking such good care of you because it is very clearly directing you away from what is not meant for you, and it's pointing you towards where you are meant to go, what you are meant to do, and who you are meant to be with.
Yeah, always, all the time, because you're always being guided. Like, that is a 100% truth that you are always being held and they won't let you fall, like completely fall. You're going to be guided, whether it hurts or not, in the right direction where you're supposed to go. And I love this. It reminds me of a story that I heard, and forgive me, I completely forget her name, but the woman who plays Phoebe on Friends. I love this character, one of my favorite characters ever, and I think she's wonderful. But her story is she first started on Frasier, and that was working out really well, but then she got fired, and that was just devastating. It was like her career was over, and people were saying things to her like, "I don't know how you get up every day." And it made her realize, "You know what? I am getting up every day, and I'm okay." And if this can happen and I'm okay, well, I think I'm pretty good. And so she went to this party and she saw this guy that was totally out of her league, she thought. And she was like, "Well, I've already been rejected. I'm all right. Let's see what happens here." They fell in love. They've been married for however long. They have a beautiful family. And eventually, as we all know, she was on Friends. And if she had stayed on Frasier, she would never be Phoebe on Friends. And look what that turned out to be, right? Like, can you imagine Phoebe on Frasier? No, she belongs on Friends. But that was so devastating for her, that rejection. But it was exactly the direction she needed to go.
Mm. That is such a good story and such a good example of it.
Hmm.
Because, what happens to you in life, that is not what dictates the outcome, right? The
Right.
event plus your reaction, the
Hmm.
way that you interpret it, the meaning that you make, and then the choices that you choose to make based on that meaning,
Hmm.
that really gives you what you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
So she could have had this rejection and then thought, I am not meant to be an actress. I quit. I'm
Yep.
going back to working in the bowling alley. I don't know if she ever worked in a bowling alley, but that's just what came out of my mouth. Or she could say, well, you know what? That sucks, but I'm going to trust that something better is coming.
Yep.
And she did. And clearly something better was coming. And I really believe that the universe doesn't want us to fail. The universe wants us
Exactly.
to succeed. This is a win win game. And our higher self, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, does know there is a plan. There is something bigger and better and more aligned for you. And if it's meant to be yours, it will be yours.
Yeah.
Right. And so instead of being fixated on the quote unquote rejection and taking it personally,
Hmm.
that's the thing, taking it personally, making it mean, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not this. I'm not this, that. No, it's just, okay, well, I wasn't for that, and that wasn't for me, and that's okay. That's actually awesome. Yes, show me how it gets even better.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that because that's the way we come out on top, right? Like, and it is our choice how we decide to perceive our situation, right?
Yeah.
Do we focus on the negative aspects of it, or do we look at how this could benefit us? And looking at all the possibilities, cuz possibilities and not knowing what's out there can be a little scary. But there's nothing scary about what you don't know. You know, the higher selves are always saying this. What's there to fear about what you don't know? Really, it's better over there, but you gotta step over there to see it, right? And
Yes.
it's always a choice. So I did a session yesterday where, she was shown a couple scenes, and one of them was a scene where she was sitting in traffic, and she was in a hurry, and she was really annoyed and totally irritated that she was stuck, she was gonna be late, and it was this whole thing. And the reason why they showed her that was because she had a choice in that moment to be completely irritated and annoyed or to enjoy her peaceful, quiet moments because there was nothing she could have done. Right. And so that was like a metaphor for life. You know, there's certain external circumstances that you can't control, but you can control how you feel about it, how
Mm,
how you decide to look at it, you know? Are you gonna love it
yes.
or are you gonna hate it? You decide. It's beautiful we get to make these choices.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
It's so good, and we can see that in every situation, right? There's always
Mhm.
an opportunity to see the golden lining, and especially when it comes to this big scary thing called rejection. Because what I see so often in a lot of the clients that I coach in business coaching, when they're looking to put out a new program or looking to put themselves out there as coaches and attract clients, is this crippling fear of being rejected and of quote unquote failure, which actually means rejection. Nobody saying yes, nobody wanting what I have to offer. And that fear and the stories that go along with that, nobody's going to buy, this is going to fail, nobody's going to sell this, I'm going to look stupid, I'm actually not good enough for this. All of those stories are so debilitating,
Mhm.
and they're all rooted in fear of rejection. But all of that is just an illusion. It's all just suffering that we're causing ourselves. And so, if we can take everything as simply data, everything is just feedback. Okay, I proposed to Erica. She said no. That's interesting. Apparently, the universe is showing me that Erica is not the person I'm meant to marry. Okay, thank you, universe, for that feedback. We don't need to make meaning be this negative thing. We don't need to take it personally. We don't need to beat ourselves up. Maybe Erica doesn't love women. Maybe Erica's already seeing somebody else. Who knows what Erica's story is? But
Right.
it doesn't have to be about me.
Right. Right. You know, I had to learn this lesson and, we're all still learning this lesson, of course. But my biggest experience in this lesson was in a relationship where I was just head over heels in love. And we absolutely have a soulmate connection. So our souls recognize each other from God knows how many lifetimes. But that unconditional love my soul felt for him, and he felt it for me too, which made this very difficult in terms of the fact that in his consciousness, in this world, in this reality, he didn't want to be with me. I wasn't the picture of what he had in his mind and that like his archetypal kind of pattern that he wanted for his wife, right? Like great friends, love each other. Yeah, but you're not, it's just not quite it. And and that wasn't about me. That didn't mean that there was something wrong with me. It just meant that I wasn't exactly what he was looking for. That was about him, right? And so I really had to learn that it wasn't about me and that I am good enough. That I am good enough and that there is somebody who sees that, right? Or sees like I see it. And I have that equal match out there, right? And that can only come if the space is available. But that's a tough lesson to learn when someone that you really love doesn't want to be with you.
Mm.
Mhm,
Yeah, or
it's
when you
it's
really
the ultimate
desire.
rejection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. The concept for the book initially came to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, confirming for me that the information in the book is pertinent to get to the world at this moment in our collective evolution. In the book, I share the 8 keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 25 years of trial, error, and deep exploration, including one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. I think most of you will agree with me that talk is a bit cheap, especially these days, and results speak the loudest of all. Well, these keys have led me to manifesting incredible results, such as an Inc. fastest growing private company, uncanny health, incredible relationships, and success with this podcast. However, I'm not any more special than you, and anyone can apply this information to achieve incredible results in their own life. I also believe waking up our planet by sharing these keys to abundance is the quickest way to help us to transition our home into the planet of paradise it is destined to become. Which is why I'd like to gift the book to you at goldenkey.gift when you use the golden key code POSITIVEHEAD. I would also like to invite you to create your own unique golden key code so you in turn can gift the book to others, as well as invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and on the website, where readers are also going to share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. Lastly, I'm going to practice what I preach by sharing 50% of the abundance generated from the golden game and sale of the other golden goodies on the website with you and all the other readers. So if you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. Also, if you end up loving and appreciating your gifted copy of the book, please take a moment to go to Amazon and give it a review, which will greatly help me reach and unlock more hearts with the golden key.
Okay, I like to put it this way. What's your favorite fruit, Erica?
Favorite fruit? Strawberry.
Okay, so now imagine that you are the ripest, most delicious, plumpest, reddest, most perfect strawberry there ever was, okay? And you were just sitting there in the grocery store. You were just wanting to be picked up and eaten and just loved, devoured with joy, okay? Because you are the most delicious, perfect strawberry there ever was.
Right.
Now, somebody, let's call him Joe, is walking down the supermarket and he sees you and he's like, oh yeah, looks like a nice strawberry, but I actually don't really like strawberry. The seeds kind of bug me and like the acidic, and I kind of get hives a little bit. I just love bananas.
Yeah.
And he goes and he grabs this green banana because that's his thing. Just because he doesn't love strawberries doesn't mean you're not the perfect strawberry. Just not everybody loves strawberries. And that's a really easy and simple way to really just realize that we're not a perfect fit for everything and everyone. And that's actually okay. And that's
Yeah.
actually great.
It is great. Yeah, it is great because now, that was a long time ago. Looking back on it, I'm so thankful. That would not have worked out. I don't think I would have been the happiest person in that he lives a completely different lifestyle. We're two totally different people, right? And his wife is the most beautiful, perfect wife for him, right? Like he met his person, and so did I, and we're right where we're supposed to be. And
Yeah.
it always works out that way. It always does. It's always okay. That is one of the
Yeah.
biggest messages I hear over and over and over. It's always okay. Especially
Mm.
when you're going through those rocky times, knowing that it's going to be okay. It really is. You're always okay. The rejection
Yes.
hurts a little bit, but you can look at it differently as a gift, really pointing you in the right direction.
And this is something I hear so often, especially people, well, in different cases, but a couple of my professional athlete friends or clients, they break a leg, right? Or my,
Yeah.
my little brother, who is a professional motocross racer, and he went into a coma. He broke every single bone in his body. He sees it as a blessing.
Mhm.
These athletes that break their legs, they're like, well, I actually realized that my passion was to be a lawyer. And
Right.
I only found that out through being in the hospital for a month with my broken body.
Mhm.
And looking back, when they had the broken body, it was like the whole life was shattering, right? It was this rejection from God, rejection from the universe, this shattering failure. But looking back, it's like, oh, life was pointing me to where I'm meant to be. That makes
Yeah.
so much sense. And so, if we can take these examples and have foresight when a shatter happens, or a rejection, or an abandonment, or any of these things that can cause us pain, if we can drop in to the trust that this is happening not to us, but for us, through us, as us, we can find the solace and the strength to move forward, knowing that it's all good.
Yeah, yeah, because it is always happening for us. This is our universe that we are here in our own little creation, creating our world. And like you said at the very beginning, like things are coming up in your world, they're coming up in your client's world. It's just coming from all angles. Yeah, because it's your world that you're creating. And this is the lesson that's here right now in this moment. So, of course, you're seeing it all around you. Listen, hello, like, right? It's so funny how sometimes we don't quite see that. And then, but from the bird's eye perspective, it's like, look at all the different ways they're trying to show us. Please learn this lesson. Right? They're always helping us. And that's I think one way where when you can look around in your life and see all those little things and say, "Oh wow. Yeah, I really am being guided all of the time."
Yeah.
Right? Like it's always in front of me. I just need to pay attention, listen, trust. That's the
It's
hard part.
so it's so true. And something I just thought about that I really want to mention is, we're not saying to spiritually bypass the emotions. Like,
Of course
if
not.
your husband of 20 years cheats on you and leaves you, like, we're not saying just be like, okay, that's fine. Like, the universe has a plan.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it is important to feel your feelings. And if that's anger, sadness, depression, whatever it is, give yourself the full permission to feel those feelings, right? Because you
Yes,
can't deny
absolutely.
them, suppress them, or try to distract yourself. They're there. So allow them to be expressed through. And when that emotional sequencing has come to a completion, that's where you have a little bit more space and grace and a bit more of the wisdom to look for that golden lining. So definitely feel your feelings
Yes.
and trust that it's all going to be okay.
Yes. I'm glad you made that point because for me a lot of times I feel like that is, like, understood, and it's not, and so thank you for making that point because when we talk about this kinda stuff, we are not talking about this in the moment something traumatic happened. No, that is not when you start saying, "Oh, this is so great," and what no, that is not the way to help someone through a difficult time. That's actually a
Yeah.
huge hindrance and not helpful at all. Um, so yes, it's so important to feel your feelings. If you don't, some awful things can really happen to your body. I had a woman literally the other day who had stuffed so much emotion into her gut. And in order for her to release it, they had to make her physically release it. So it was physically coming up in the middle of her session. And I when I asked why, they said, because if we did not make it physical, she would have never released it. So we had to make it like this. So they push us if we need to. Like if it's that serious, you know? So I'm saying that for a lot of reasons. Pushing down our feelings can make us very, very ill. And if that's, obviously causing us a hindrance along our path, then it's not going to be so easy what they're going to have to do to make you move forward. So we don't have to do that. We can make those choices before that happens. So feeling our feelings is very important. Yes.
So well said. That's really it. That's
Yeah.
so well said.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Well, I think we are going to leave you guys today with a beautiful song by Trevor Hall called Free. And we love you all so, so much. Thank you for joining us. We love you. Till next time.
Love you.
Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.
There's no need to explain these things. We were late just to arrive as the sun climbed through the sky. There's no need to explain these things. We rejoice in not to know. Let the music fill our soul. We got to be free. Free, we've got to be free. To be free, free, we've got to be free. Oh, no, no. Well, I met with Uncle, and he played his drum, and all of his daughters, they sang as one. We were all laughing under that sky. Well, it was so simple, a thunderbird could cry. Well, I am reminded of the light of my soul, and I do remember I'm already home. The medicine's talking, tell me what does it say? When we come together, we find a way. There's no need to explain these things. We were late just to arrive as the sun climbed through the sky. There's no need to explain these things. We rejoice in not to know. Let the music fill our soul. We got to be free. Free, we've got to be free. Free, we've got to be free. Free, we've got to be free. choice and not to know. Let the music fill our soul. We got to be free. Free, we've got to be free. Free.